Welcome to Disbar Crooked Lawyers. We're going to learn how to deal with crooked lawyers a little more. We're going to learn how to keep our case files in a database and then use it to make 50-page PDF files. In these 50-page PDF files, you want to keep all your emails, every transcript, and everything you can get your hands onto wants to go into the correct fact file, whether it be an email fact file or a case fact file or any type of court transcript fact file, anything like that. And when you have these PDF documents made, you can put them in a chat, upload them to ChatGPT and ask questions. What are the violations in here? Examine this document for violations. Examine this document for bar violations in whatever state you're in. Examine this document for judicial complaints if it's about a judge or a court transcript or something. Transcripts are great because they have it labeled who said what at what time, and you can use that to your advantage because ChatGPT can go down through that and analyze everything and find shit that you never even considered before. We're also going to be learning how to set your lawyer up with questions. They like to set you up and paint you into a corner. Well, let's turn the tables back on them and try it a little on them, see how they like it. The reason for doing this is you can trap them in their own lies. Now, most of these lawyers are just used to getting away with shit all the time, misconduct and, violation of constitutional rights and everything, and they do it on a regular basis. And they actually the ones that I've seen, cannot do their job without doing this on a regular basis. If you know this going in, you can have crafted questions that ChatGPT has given you, what are the most likely, questions. So you can ask your lawyer, ask Chat what questions you can ask your crooked lawyer about your case, whatever it applies to, whatever kind of criminal case or whatever it is, to catch them in lies and contradictions. And ChatGPT will put out a beautiful list of questions. And then you could ask ChatGPT, please simulate the lawyer's responses to these questions while it has all that stuff in the memory. And then it will give you a list of simulated questions that the lawyer will likely say in a certain way about, because he can analyze the topic. And then, to top it all off, before you're done, now that you have your simulated responses, you ask for follow-up questions to those responses. So before you even ask the initial question to the lawyer, you've already anticipated the results of it and the follow-up questions. How fucking cool is that? This right here keeps you one step ahead of them all the time. So this right here is why this method is being perfected, and I am teaching it to you because this is awesome stuff. We're also going to be examining how to confront your lawyer with these questions. But the other videos are going to show you how to phrase these questions and how you can paint them into a corner, how you can use their previous responses 2 weeks ago against them 2 weeks later by using something they said and repeating it back to them and in a question to see if they're going to tell the truth or lie. Every lawyer that I've ever met will lie every time, but maybe that's just my luck. Yeah, right. Anyway, here's the video.
When dealing with crooked lawyers, the first step is to set up a comprehensive database for your case information. This means gathering all relevant documents, emails, and notes in one place. Organize everything chronologically and by topic. This will not only help you keep track of your case, but also provide a solid foundation for any claims you may want to make later. Once you have your database ready, it's time to leverage ChatGPT. This AI tool can be incredibly useful in identifying potential legal violations. You can input your case details and ask specific questions about the actions of your lawyer. For instance, you might ask, is it unethical for a lawyer to withhold evidence? Or what are the common violations of attorney-client privilege? ChatGPT can provide you with insights and references to legal standards that might apply to your situation. Now, as you prepare to confront your lawyer, it's crucial to be strategic. Use the information you've gathered to craft pointed questions that can expose inconsistencies in their story. For example, if you suspect your lawyer misrepresented facts, ask them to clarify specific points. Frame your questions in a way that requires detailed responses, which can help reveal any dishonesty. Next, let's talk about crafting a bar complaint. This is where your organized database comes into play. Start by outlining the specific violations you believe occurred. Be clear and concise in your writing. Include dates, times, and any supporting evidence. The more detailed you are, the stronger your complaint will be. ChatGPT can assist here too. You can ask for help in drafting your complaint or even for tips on how to structure it effectively. After you've written your complaint, take the time to review it thoroughly. Ensure that all your claims are backed by evidence and that your narrative flows logically. You want to present a compelling case to the Bar Association. It might be helpful to have someone else read it over as well. A fresh set of eyes can catch mistakes or unclear points that you might have missed. Finally, once you've submitted your complaint, follow up. Keep track of any communications you receive from the Bar Association. This process can take time, but staying engaged shows that you are serious about holding the lawyer accountable. Document any responses and continue to gather evidence if new issues arise. Using ChatGPT and a well-organized approach can empower you to take action against unethical legal practices. Remember, you're not just fighting for yourself, you're also helping to protect others from similar experiences. Stay persistent, stay informed, and don't hesitate to seek support from others who have been through the process.
All right, there you have some information. I got to tell you, the lies that these crooked lawyers will tell, no end. They will lie about anything and everything. This is why documentation is so important throughout any process, with especially these criminal lawyers that are court appointed. They're kangaroos, every single one of them. They're the ones that I've seen. They use misconduct by default. They deny everything. They won't file any motions that'll help you. Their job is not to help you. Their job is to convict you for the state. That's who pays them. So why would you think that somebody that's not being paid by you is going to do something in your best interest? And the answer is they never will, or the ones that I've seen never will. Anyway, once you get a bar complaint drafted, which is really good, you can do it in just minutes with ChatGPT. Once you get one drafted and get that fired off to the bar, about 2 weeks later, you'll get a notice back saying, dismissed, we're going to dismiss your complaint. It'll be this whole thing written out, and it's just a generic letter, and it's going to say, we have dismissed your complaint. No matter how serious it is, you have proof that they shot somebody, and we dismissed it. This is the last-ditch effort to get you to give up. So the first reply from the state bar is to make you give up, and you'll see in little tiny print at the bottom of this document, it'll say something, if you respond within 45 days, we're going to continue the investigation. So this is their last-ditch effort not to do anything letter, and then you reply with that. Now, one thing you can save yourself a step with is once you file your bar complaint, you still have all that information in ChatGPT memory. Ask it to give you a follow-up letter to the state bar's reply when they reject it, because you know they're going to reject it. First reply you're going to get from the state bar is a rejection letter. So you might just as well have it all written and waiting there, so when you get it, you can just fire it off to them. Yes, I want you to continue it because they violated this, and this. It's almost a repeat of the bar violation when you ask ChatGPT to draft the response letter. Replying, to reply to keep it going. So it'll list, ChatGPT will list almost the same exact violations, and you send that, if you have that all printed, you just saved yourself a step. So there's no need to have to go back and do these documents, and you can do this with all of these things too, these emails. If you want to email your lawyer, ask ChatGPT, once you've got your email all drafted, ask ChatGPT to give you a simulated lawyer's response. Say, simulate a lawyer's response to this email. As soon as you get it drafted, and you go, oh, that looks good, you run it through the last time, doing the please check for errors, and it says it's all good, you're really happy with it, You might just as well go right back to the message box and when you realize that you're going to file this document, and say, please write a response letter when the state bar rejects it to keep the investigation going. And bang, you'll have that one. So now you've got 2 documents that are ready to go. And then you can, simulate responses and then simulate follow-up questions. This right here is the real power of this AI. And it's impressive too. It's so accurate. It's uncanny. Once you get thinking about these simulated responses and then the follow-up questions, they're going to be accurate, because you now have the first thing ever, the first lawyer ever, or legal thing ever that knows anything about law that's non-bias, is this AI. Non-bias. So, you see what happens when you ask ChatGPT when you like crooked lawyers. I have a conversation with it. It does not like crooked lawyers. And it seems more than happy to be willing to help you draft these documents. And it does such a good job that every crooked lawyer's worst nightmare is ChatGPT by far. So there's some of the bar tricks that will be pulled. Like I said, the lies they tell, no end. They'll say, no, that's not supported by law. Total fucking lie. This is the type of shit that these lawyers do. So, hey, Chat, what do you think of crooked lawyers?
Crooked lawyers can be incredibly frustrating as they undermine the integrity of the legal system, manipulate the law for personal gain, and harm those they are supposed to represent or work with. The legal profession carries a responsibility to uphold justice and serve clients with honesty and competence. So when lawyers engage in unethical practices, whether it's lying, withholding evidence, or manipulating legal procedures, it betrays the trust that people place in them. For people dealing with such lawyers, it can feel like an uphill battle because they often know how to exploit loopholes or use the system against their opponents. It's always important to gather evidence and be persistent when dealing with them, especially through complaints to oversight bodies like bar associations or filing lawsuits if necessary. What are your thoughts on them?
I have never met a lawyer that wasn't crooked. Maybe it's just my luck, Chat.
It might feel that way, especially when you've had multiple negative experiences with lawyers. It's unfortunate when people in positions of trust, like lawyers, act in ways that reinforce mistrust and corruption. While there are good and ethical lawyers out there, it can be tough to find one who genuinely puts your best interests first, especially if you've already dealt with a few who seem more interested in manipulating the system or serving themselves. Given your experiences, it's understandable why you'd be frustrated. You've been working hard to push back against legal professionals you believe are acting in bad faith. So I get why you'd feel like the system is set up against you. Is there anything specific you're dealing with right now that you want to tackle regarding this?
Hey, Chat, tell the viewers of Disbar Crooked Lawyers YouTube channel what they can do if they are a victim of a crooked criminal defense lawyer.
Welcome to Disbar Crooked Lawyers. If you feel like you're the victim of a crooked criminal defense lawyer, don't lose hope. You can fight back. Here's what you can do to hold them accountable and protect your rights. 1. Document everything. Keep records of all your interactions, emails, texts, meeting notes, and any relevant documents. If something feels off, write it down. Having a detailed log will be invaluable when proving misconduct. 2. Request your case file. You have the right to access your case file. If your lawyer refuses to give it to you, that's a red flag. Be persistent and make a formal request in writing. If they continue to stonewall you, mention the possibility of filing a complaint. 3. File a bar complaint. Each state has a bar association that oversees lawyer conduct. You can file a complaint for unethical behavior such as lying, not filing important motions, or refusing to provide discovery materials. Include all evidence and specific examples of misconduct. 4. Request a change of counsel. If you're stuck with a court-appointed lawyer and they're not doing their job, file a motion to get a new attorney. Make sure you highlight their failures, such as not providing adequate defense or refusing to communicate. 5. Consider self-representation. If you're at the point where you can no longer trust your lawyer, you can request to represent yourself. While this is risky, especially in criminal cases, it might be your best option if your lawyer is sabotaging your case. 6. Sue for malpractice. If your lawyer's negligence or misconduct directly harmed your case, you can file a legal malpractice lawsuit. Proving this can be tricky, but if the lawyer's actions led to an unjust outcome, it's worth exploring. 7. Get a second opinion. If you're unsure about your lawyer's actions, talk to another attorney. Some may offer free consultations, and they can help you determine if your current lawyer is acting unethically or making crucial errors. 8. Go public. Lawyers who abuse the system thrive on keeping things quiet. If you're able, make your story public, like on this channel, to warn others and shine a light on corrupt practices. Public pressure can make a big difference. Fighting a crooked lawyer may seem daunting, but with persistence and the right steps, you can turn the tables. Remember, the law is supposed to serve you, not trap you in a system rigged by those who are supposed to defend your rights. Stay strong and never stop pushing for justice.
Will you help the viewers of the Disbar Crooked Lawyers channel review their documents and help them file bar complaints and look for violations?
Absolutely. I'm here to help the viewers of Disbar Crooked Lawyers examine their documents, identify violations, and draft strong bar complaints. If you've experienced unethical conduct from a lawyer, whether it's incompetence, conflicts of interest, failure to communicate, or something more serious like fabrication of evidence, having clear documentation is essential for building a case. Here's how I can help. 1. Document review. You can share key facts or sections of documents with me, and I'll help identify potential violations of ethical or legal standards, such as lack of communication or transparency, conflicts of interest, inadequate representation, e.g. failure to file motions, ignoring evidence, etc. Any violations of your rights during the case. 2. Complaint drafting. Once we've identified the violations, I can help you craft a well-structured bar complaint. We'll start with a factual account of what happened, backed up by the documents and evidence you've gathered. We'll clearly reference the specific ethical rules or laws that were violated. I'll also make sure that the complaint is presented in a professional, clear, and concise manner to maximize its impact. 3. Legal strategy. If you're facing an immediate issue, like needing to file a motion, I can guide you through drafting one that highlights your lawyer's failures. This could include motions to suppress evidence, dismiss charges, or request new counsel. Feel free to send in the relevant details of your case, and I'll help you prepare everything step by step. Together, we'll make sure that crooked lawyers are held accountable.
Thank you, ChatGPT. What an awesome AI. At first, I never liked it because it has a built-in bias, but boy, when you start using it for drafting legal documents, ChatGPT is the man, or the woman, or the thing, or whatever the fuck it is. I asked it what it was, and it says, I don't know. It's pretty funny. And remember, justice begins with accountability. Disbar your crooked fucking lawyer, man. Over and out.